What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on the E30 again. We're gonna be doing a compression test on the M20 that's in the car right now. The car's ran a little funky ever since I picked it up about a year ago, and due to the past history I kind of want to see what's going on. So we're gonna run a compression test. I have just a basic compression tester from I think it's from Harbor Freight. So you can really use them anywhere. You can rent them at like AutoZone or O'Reilly's or any of those. But we're gonna get into it. I'll show you how to do it step by step. This really works for most BMW engines, probably like any engine really, but we'll get into it, see what kind of numbers we get. The engine's hot right now, so we're gonna be doing a hot compression test. You can do them when they're hot or cold. But yeah, let's get into it. First step, we're gonna remove all the spark plugs. We're gonna check those and we'll see how they look. It's been going through spark plugs a lot lately. There's been a lot of oil buildup, so that's kind of why I'm concerned about the rings. But yeah, we'll check it out, see what's kind of going on inside the motor, get a little better idea if maybe it needs a replacement. The car does have 200,000 miles plus on it, so it could be time for a replacement, I don't know, or a rebuild, but we'll find out here in a second, so let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get started, I forgot to mention this. I do want to go over the brief history of this car that I've had it. I bought it off a guy in Idaho about a year ago. He bought it off another guy in Idaho probably 2 years before that. It ran then, and then when he bought it, he drove it for probably a week and then it just stopped running. And he tried to figure it out, replaced a bunch of stuff, which was also the other reason I wanted to buy it, was because he replaced a lot of parts on it and never just could get it running. So I went up, bought it off of him. I brought it back down here. I tried to get it to run for probably a couple weeks, and then I finally gave up and took it to a shop. The shop couldn't figure it out that I took it to the first time. Then I took it to Wofford's European in Salt Lake City. They finally figured it out. It was a bad injector harness. It had been previously messed with and just kind of was really screwed up. And the adapter piece from the camshaft that holds the rotor was bent, so it wasn't making contact with the cap, which was no spark, and that was the other issue. So it finally got it running. It ran, but not really that healthy. It wasn't that healthy, and I'd been chewing through spark plugs. I'd replaced a lot of sets of spark plug in this, and they just always get fried after probably 200 miles, and I'd always get a lot of oil on them, which isn't normal. So that's kind of the reason why I want to do the compression test, just to see how healthy the motor is, which I don't think it is that healthy. So there might be a motor swap coming in the future, but we'll find out. Anyways, I just wanted to give a little bit of a backstory on the car. It'll be on the channel a lot, so that's why. Anyways, we'll get back to it and we'll start removing the plugs. Alright, all the plugs are out. They're pretty white, which means they're lean. This was cylinder order from the front to the back. So yeah, they have some oil on the threads, and they're pretty lean. So that's not really that good because they're basically brand new, but we'll do a compression test. I pulled the fuse this is the fuse for the fuel pump right there. It's on an E30, just so you know. And I pulled the fuse for the fuel pump so we're not shooting fuel out. I test fitted this compression tester. I think it's a Harbor Freight one, and none of these fit. So I'm gonna have to run to AutoZone or, I don't know, O'Reilly's, one of the two, and we'll try and rent one and see if there's fits. So I'm gonna run down there and then we will continue on this video. All right, we got the right compression tester from AutoZone. That one actually fits. So I already got it in the car. It's all hooked up. You just screw it in where your spark plug goes. And you don't really need a second person to do this, but you can just set it there. And we're gonna crank over the car 5 times, and then we'll check what the number is. The recommended for like a newer M20 is 140 to 150 PSI. So we'll see what it is comparable to that. All right, cylinder 1 done. I don't know what the firing order is, but this is cylinder 1. 150 PSI, so that cylinder is just in really good shape. Yeah, that's actually pretty impressive for 200,000 plus miles. So we're gonna write that down, and then I'm just gonna go through and do them all real quick, and then we'll go over the numbers when I'm done. Alright, we got all of the compression testing done across the board. Here are the final numbers. They look pretty dang good. So starting from the front to the back, the plug on this one looks pretty good. We hit 150 on that one, 148 on the next one, 150, 140, 148, and then the back cylinder is actually the lowest at 120. But let's see the focus. I don't know, the plugs look pretty decent. There was one really screwed up one. What one was it? This guy. Get it to focus. But they all look like they're running lean, which is interesting because I didn't think that was the issue. It seems to be getting plenty of fuel. But I'm not sure. If you guys have any ideas or things that I should check, let me know in the comments because I'm kind of out of ideas on what to check here. So that's about it for compression testing. It's really easy, it's really simple to do, and it kind of gives you an idea on how healthy your motor is. But this one seems fine, the rings seem okay. There's still oil getting through somewhere, so I've got to figure out where that is. But yeah, so now I'm just gonna throw all the plugs back in and we'll get it all reassembled, make sure it still turns on, and yeah. Alright you guys, that pretty much concludes the compression test on this thing. Gave me some good ideas on kind of what the motor is as far as like being healthy and whatnot. It's a good thing to do though, just to know the condition of your motor, especially in older cars like this, older BMWs, just to make sure your motor's still running strong. But if you guys have any ideas on the idle issue and what you saw in the video, please let me know in the comments, and hopefully you enjoyed this and you found it useful. But yeah, leave a like, don't forget to subscribe. It's the little red button, click it, turn the notification bell on, you'll get notifications on new videos, and I will see you next time.